Nicola Blackwood.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could I come to you first, Mr. Crompton? We had some rather disturbing evidence from a Home Office researcher in private evidence. She was asked to do a report into what was then considered child prostitution between 2001 and 2002. At the time, this was labelled as inaccurate and exaggerated, and she was treated with hostility and anger by South Yorkshire Police. I'm using the words of Professor J from her report. However, Professor J also confirms the findings of her report and calls the treatment of this researcher deeply troubling. In addition to what has been published in the report, the researcher told us that she was threatened in her car at night by 2 police officers who told her, wouldn't it be a bad thing if some of these men, which she explained she meant these perpetrators, found out where you lived. And she feared for her life. And all the files that were related to her report were removed over a weekend from the Risky Business office. In evidence, her and Dr. Andrew Hill and Jane Senior, who was at the time the head of Risky Business, said that they could name all 5 individuals who had the key code and the key for the filing cabinet and could have accessed those files, but that there had been no police investigation into what had happened, both in terms of the harassment of the researcher, but also in terms of the removal of the file. The only thing which had happened was that Jane Senior recalls one phone call in 2013 after a report which had come out in the Times written by Andrew Norfolk. So I wondered, firstly, what progress had been made in investigating the disappearance of the files, given that there is a witness, the caretaker, who apparently saw a number of people coming in and removing those files, and also that apparently there's a very limited number of people who could have accessed them. And secondly, that the Home Office researcher said she would like the harassment against her, which sounds very severe, to be properly investigated by the police.
The question of a harassment, it's the first time I've ever heard that, and of course we will look into that because it sounds like a serious matter. So we will deal with that. In relation to the missing files, since this has been raised, we have been going back through our records and can't find any mention, any report, any computer printout within our records of that happening. Now, I'm entirely accepting it has happened, but you've asked me, what have we done? We've been going back to see, is there a report or some further information about this, and at the moment we can't find any.
Could you just clarify, do you mean you have no record of the files being removed, or you have no record of the 2013 phone call and any subsequent activity?
The 2013 phone call, that's the first time that's ever been mentioned to me, so I wasn't aware of that. We cannot find any reference within our records to removal of the files being reported to us or involving South Yorkshire Police.
So what action are you going to take now to make sure that those individuals who have given evidence to us, who for 15 years have been trying to get justice for these victims, who have been disbelieved and treated exceedingly badly, are going to be treated as though A, they are believed by your police officers, and secondly, that those police officers who treated them in that way are properly disciplined?
I think that probably brings us to the arrangements so far for getting all of this investigated independently, because I think probably the best way to go about this is for this to be handled outside South Yorkshire Police, so that the public have got confidence that these matters are dealt with appropriately. So I'm in ongoing negotiation with the National Crime Agency